The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to another edition of TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Lita.
In this edition, refurbished PNGDF hangar opened, consultation on Bougainville Constitution important, and Olang provides views about PNG NRL bid. The newly refurbished hangar of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force Air Transport Wing was opened yesterday. Refurbishment work to the hangar was done at a cost of 11 million kina, fully supported by Australian Defence Force and its Department of Defence. Acting Chief of PNGDF Commodore Philip Polewara and Australian Chief of Defence Force General Angus Campbell were in attendance. First built by Australian Defence Force and Papua New Guinea Defence Force engineers in 1991, the newly refurbished hangar will enable the PNGDF's growing aviation capabilities in the years ahead. The refurbishment project was delivered by Roads Projects, and works included a new roofing, solar panels for consistent power, reconfigured office and training space, as well as female bathrooms to accommodate a modern force. The new Joint Operations Room, mission planning areas and maintenance facilities will allow the PNGDF Air Element and its Australian colleagues to execute missions in the air domain.
To those who have been working in construction and in refurbishment, thank you for what you've done, and thank you for renewing this hangar and the capability it embodies so that we can move forward together. Our nations have been building defence capability together now for almost 50 years, and our nations have been connected for eternity. Australia is delighted to be part of that story, a story that we are committed to, and a story that will see over time the development of an air capability that Papua New Guinean members of the Defence Force can rely on and know is safe, is experienced, and is able to deliver and provide services for the Defence Force, for the defence of your nation, and ultimately for your nation.
Australia and Papua New Guinea are working together through the Defence Cooperation Programme to meet Papua New Guinea's defence and security priorities. This includes strengthening Papua New Guinea's sovereign defence capabilities, including infrastructure, maritime and aviation capabilities.
In general, your contribution, ADF contribution and Australia's contribution is a sacrifice you made to the people, not only the air transport wing, the Papua New Defence Force, but to the people of Papua New Guinea. Of the experiences that our forefathers faced, which you mentioned one or two lines here, and how we see ourselves in the Pacific, and how we will move forward to make our region safe. These are the challenges we face, and you've been, as we discussed, partner of choice, or how do we put it, and the journey that we have taken and we continue to take.
Papua New Guinea and Australia are also working together to rejuvenate the PNGDF Air Element. The PNGDF is making rapid progress. Only last month, they moved hundreds of kilograms of supplies to the highlands after the Enga landslide. Furthermore, General Campbell announced that PNGDF has been invited to participate in exercise Pitch Black 24 in July.
An activity that will see approximately 24 nations come together, really demonstrating an enormous variety of air power, air capability, air planning, air logistics, and something that the PNGDF will be involved in, and we are delighted by that.
This is Australian Chief of Defence Force General Angus Campbell's final official visit to Papua New Guinea in his current military capacity, quite fitting to his decorated and respected term, as a visit to Papua New Guinea in 2018 marked his first bilateral visit as the Chief of Defence.
This is my last overseas visit as a Chief of Defence Force, as indeed Papua New Guinea was my first bilateral visit as a Chief of Defence Force. It matters. We are, as your Prime Minister reminded Australia when addressing our Parliament, we're joined at the hip. We always have been and always will be.
General Campbell is no newcomer to Papua New Guinea. Although this is his final official visit as Australia's Chief of Defence, General Campbell assures that this is not his final trip to Papua New Guinea.
This is my last visit to Papua New Guinea in my role as Chief of Defence Force. I will retire soon. It's not my last visit to Papua New Guinea, however. My wife and I have a very long and close association, indeed love, for this country. And I had the opportunity to live here as a child. I have been here routinely through my military career on exercises, training and planning. And I've had a very close relationship with senior leadership of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force now for more than a decade. So I'll be back, but as Mr. Campbell, and it is a very purposeful decision to ensure that Papua New Guinea was the last place that I had an opportunity to visit as the Chief of Defence Force, because it was also the first place I had the opportunity to visit as Chief of Defence Force.
PNGDF Acting Chief of Defence, Commodore Philip Polewara, in commending General Campbell's contributions and support to the PNGDF and in greater respect the nation of Papua New Guinea, congratulated the General on his decorated and respected career and bid him well.
General, thank you. And on behalf of the Papua New Defence Force, our families, I would like to wish you all the best in your life, you and Stephanie, in your life after the Defence Force life. I hope it will be an easy and relaxing one.
General Campbell, at the opening of the refurbished ATW hangar, wished Commodore Polewara and the PNGDF the best in the development of the ATW, and to all those who will serve in the wing, and for the support and capability it will and will progressively build and create for the PNGDF. Autonomous Bougainville Government President Ismail Torama attended the Bougainville Foundation Day at the Lay Botanical Gardens on Saturday, where he stressed on the need for a homegrown constitution. Members of the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission accompanied President Torama.
Bougainvillians in Lay Morobe Province were excited to see their president Ismail Torama. He was warmly welcomed by a Sing group from Butibam village on Saturday, June 15th at the Lay Botanical Gardens. The president was not only in Lay for the Bougainville Foundation Day, which was formerly known as Arab Day, but mainly to host the second phase of consultations with the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission. The consultations, which were to inform constituents of the first draft of Bougainville's homegrown constitution, started in Port Moresby from Friday, June 14th to Monday, June 17th. For Lay consultations started on Sunday, June 16th and ended on Wednesday, June 19th. President Torama highlighted the need for all Bougainvillians to read the first draft and contribute their opinions on what should be included in the second draft of the Constitution.
Today you become along this is a process. It's a process where all early leadership like you they were challenged when they advocate on behalf of the people of Bougainville. The challenge is to make a compromise. In Papua New Guinea, you like to see independence. Bougainville stood firm and raised the first flag within the range of Papua New Guinea. And Pilakinukim, and we want along all this the oldest flag where it protects
Toroma further said the Bougainville Peace Agreement, which was signed by PNG and Bougainville on August 30th, 2001, has served as their guiding light ever since. Toroma said the agreement, with its 3 pillars of autonomy, weapons disposal, and a referendum on Bougainville's political status, has been followed to the letter.
You're coming up now. The plan of Abruzzi Mompla Lipping Cup, Long Bougainville Peace Agreement. We all stood firm and stayed in the framework of the Bougainville Peace Agreement. Osama people vote. Constitution again you, this look sabe, long you vote. Long deciding choice long you.
In the 2019 non-binding independence referendum, Bougainvillians within Bougainville, across mainland PNG and abroad, voted 97.7% for independence. President Toroma issued the reminder that they all have a responsibility to fulfill by contributing to the Constitution for an independent nation to be. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
This week, the Center for Excellence in Financial Inclusion hosted a free information session for women SMEs in Port Moresby about the services that the Business Link Pacific program offers to SMEs to assist in terms of the growth of their business. The free session was held on Thursday, 20 June at the CEFI head office, Port Moresby. The Business Link program is funded by the New Zealand government's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade and supported by Australian DFED. The services offered by the program include subsidized business advisory service, concessional loans, business support grants, and business assessments for small to medium-sized businesses. The free information session for women SMEs in Port Moresby about the services that the BLP program offers to SMEs to assist in terms of the growth of their business was attended by 22 women SMEs. The WSMEs that attended the session were from different business backgrounds, including floriculture, retail, events planning, tailoring, logistics, and consulting. Since 2021, CEFI has conducted and provided 64 BLP business diagnostic tests and reports for SMEs that applied for subsidies and business support grants. Furthermore, since the launch of the business support grants in July 2023 under Phase 2 of the program, 14 grants have been paid to PNG SMEs. The Department of Community Development and Religion is adamant that bringing government services to the ward level will stimulate economic growth with results. The department has embarked on building community centers where services such as training, facilities, and offices are close to people for easy access.
Speaking about concepts being practiced in the Highlands region and how it is keeping youths leveled in working the land and earning a living, says Community Development and Religion Highlands Region Provincial Coordinator David Nugi. He said the department has seen that the bottom-up concept is the right way the government should approach initiatives to recoup maximum results.
The whole of government must go down to the ward. We are trying to go through provincial, it's not working. That's transfer of power and passing the funds down is not working. So, from point A to Z, Namel Mirela cut it. We want to cut the bureaucracy, we want to cut the bottleneck.
According to the informal economic audit report of the Institute of National Affairs, Mr. Nugi says there is about 2 billion kina circulating in the informal sector that is not banked, which can be used.
About 2 billion kina circulating in the informal sector that is not banked. Okay, that's a quote from the informal economy audit report. We have to find ways to hold the youth back. So you have one very important asset. And what's that? Time you start a place, you got one asset. Land, ground. Go fresh production. It's the middle person. And capable weighing game receipts. They said they don't have to worry. They just stay. Haletika no to 800 kilo, 1,500 kilo. So I'm go back on ground. I'm losing ground na go, I'm bananapsim sa money.
This system has worked and has attracted youths not to engage in illicit activities or wander into urban areas seeking opportunities as they can generate income at the village level. This approach is encouraged by Mr. Nugi to all provinces to ensure there is no rural-urban drift in the country.
Now when you're looking, if you do it in the wards in the province, the youth will not migrate to most to land. Are you not looking problem to see? Not like the youth problem, January 10 store fire now. Well, there's no opportunity down there in the districts and what. Oh, go mostly because to find more opportunity. Now once the finish the mostly to no work, so you go find one I can.
In Madang Province, Mr. Nugi stated that they are looking to build up a district development community center in Bogia, where all community development services and other partnering sectors will have to establish an office for public convenience. The current and established center is located in Imbongu, Southern Highlands.
So I want to bring the training to, say, Bogia. I want to bring financial literacy to Bogia. And I want to bring IPA, so the people who do financial literacy can also register. Yeah. Then they have the IRCT now. Okay, from there, then we want to bring the business skills training, SMEC, into there. We bring IPA there. Rest of finish, we want to put money in Mama Bank, Women's Micro Bank, so Mama can access it by going through that process.
In addition, the District Development Authority will have to take ownership in maintaining the overall functionality whilst implementing agency support with funding and training. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Open hands.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bougainville.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi Trubla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Thanks for staying with us. Since July 2023, corporate Bosco has connected past pupils and friends of Don Bosco in PNG and the Solomon Islands. From June 14 to 17, the executive committee held a retreat at Don Bosco's Simbu Technical College in Kumgi. Participants from Port Moresby, welcomed by Father Clifford Moraes, engaged in dialogue, reviewed draft statutes and joined student prayers and visited the National Shrine of Divine Mercy in Mount Hagen. The retreat fostered camaraderie and reflected Don Bosco's spirit. Participants in reflection like Winter Robert emphasized the importance of solidarity in building a successful team. Sean Elias appreciated the warm welcome and energy of the Salesians, and Petrina Kabianga found inspiration in the students' resilience and dedication. The retreat was a heartfelt time of bonding and reflection, rekindling the Salesian family spirit. Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Robert Baim has applauded Medan Rural Commander Peter Gorek and Nayudo local level government President Senuka Kaku on a successful reconciliation effort in which proactive policing was used. The reconciliation exercises, which occurred in Sewan and Guarawan villages in the treasures and remote area of the Rai Coast district, were breakthrough initiatives that the police force in Medan province implemented after 4 years of reactive approaches and a standoff between the notorious Nauyet Hetwara gang.
Reconciliation efforts initiated by police in the notorious Nayudo LLG in Rai Coast District, Medang Province has been successful. Police in Medang were commended for initiating reconciliation and peace to end what was a 3 to 4 years of civil war that affected hundreds of lives. Rural Commander Peter Gorek said when the fighting and killing didn't stop, he knew he needed to do something to end the lawlessness. The work towards peace began when he challenged Nayudo LLG President Senuka Kaku to apprehend suspects involved in the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl. Mr. Kaku utilized reformed Hetwara gang members to assist police in capturing the 7 suspects. All suspects were already in jail at Bion when the peacemaking ceremony took place. Despite threats from the relatives of the 7, Mr. Kaku ensured that the peace ceremony take place. He also had to fight for reconciliation as opposed to the 100-day government-led operation to rid the LOG of troublemakers. When he had his way, Mr. Kaku had the arduous task of putting together resources that would enable the reconciliation program. He said people were fed up of the killings, the rapes, and the fear that lasted close to 4 years. Eventually, peace was broken in Sewan and Guarawan village in March. President Kaku appealed to police to support their community policing strategy with training for community police units in Nayudo, as it has proven effective in the geographically challenged region. Following the press conference, PPC Baim said since the reconciliation exercise, Nayudo has been peaceful. Kaokiru Jr., TV1 News.
Karkar Island in the Sumka district of Medan province is set to have a Coconuts Festival during the independence period this September. The Coconuts Festival, a local concept developed by Juan Ferdinand Kamisum of Coral Springs Studio in Medan, will take place on the island in celebration of Papua New Guinea's 49th independence anniversary this year. Kamisum developed this initiative in order to showcase unity and independence for the people on the island. Themed Develop and Sustain Our Societies Through Talent, Skills and Resources, Digicel PNG has thrown support behind this homegrown concept with 10,000 kina worth of assistance. Kamisum thanked Digicel PNG, saying the support will help the festival committee's preparation efforts over the next 2 months.
Community activities now one of basic services that they needed at that time until today. So on behalf of the team, the Coconuts Festival with the executive, I would like to thank Diesel here in Medang and also the marketing team in Port Moresby and the Diesel company as a whole.
Aonako Nairu Orumako or ANO, legally registered as ILG number 513, has affirmed its status as the rightful landowner of the Antelope gas fields. This follows years of rigorous registration processes culminating in the official recognition of portion 21C in the Baimuru District, Gulf Province in 2019. ANO also clarified that the Elk Antelope Landowners Association, Inc., which recently publicized its development plans, does not represent the landowners of the antelope fields.
Aunako Nairu Orumako, legally registered as ILG number 513, in confirming its status as the rightful landowner of the antelope fields, said the recognition comes following a protracted registration process initiated in 2013 and concluded in 2019 with the official acknowledgement of Portion 21C. ANO also clarified that the recent development plans announced by the Elk Antelope Landowners Association, Inc. do not represent the legitimate landowners of the antelope fields. ANO asserts that the association spokesperson is not connected to the land where the antelope fields are located. As the principal landowners of 6 of the 7 antelope wellheads, ANO presented a vision for the Papua LNG project aimed at local economic development.
Government is also not looking at the things properly because of way they are doing the things is not right. Some of the real principal landowners were left out. We, Amatnai Orumako, are the principal of that area where 52.750 hectares. We own that.
ANO aims to promote local ownership of shops and create a supply chain for local produce, ensuring markets domestically and internationally. Profits from these ventures will fund agricultural and fisheries development, aiming for long-term economic sustainability post-LNG extraction. ANO's development model promises enhanced food security, employment, increased landowner income, and improved living standards. They seek collaboration with private sector companies, the Gulf provincial government, and the national government, with further details to be released upon securing partnerships and approvals. Amoko Naru, chairman of the Border Sharing Clan, emphasized the importance of ANO's recognition.
The boundary sharing clans, which includes all the Bamburu district, that was one of the highest instrument that was signed in 15th of December 2018. So with that, we congratulate a chairman.
Surveyor David Mokoko confirmed the dispute-free survey of the PR15 project area covering 52,750 hectares. The survey, registered under the Lands Department, reflects the support and satisfaction of the local Baimuru people. Abel Koivi, director of ANO, affirmed that ANO has met all requirements under the ILG Act and is recognized by both the Lands and Petroleum Departments. He called for official recognition of ANO in all dealings under the Gas and Oil and Lands Acts, emphasizing the lengthy and thorough process undertaken to secure their legitimate landowner status.
And they have met all the requirements. And they are now coming out in the media to advise the people of this country and the government, both at the national and the provincial level and at the district level, that they are the legitimate landowners. They must be recognized in all the dealings that goes on, whether underneath the Gas and Oil Act.
ANO invites all legitimate landowners to join NEA Holdings Limited, ensuring economic opportunities for future generations long after the Papua LNG project concludes. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2602 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kaukina was buying $0.2527 US, $0.3767 Australian dollars, $0.2286 euro, and 39.90 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, copra, and palm oil closed higher, while cocoa, crude oil, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back after the break with what's making headlines overseas.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves. Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame oil, winning taste.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot and talk, young or old, let's calories, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scale rice, on scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, on scale price. Amber, you like it?
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Welcome back. The 8 members of Vanuatu Parliament from Tafea province have made a bold and powerful call to the President of the French Republic, Emmanuel Macron, to stop the violence and killing being committed against the Kanaki people. The MPs include Trade Minister Bob Lohman, Internal Affairs Minister Johnny Kwanapo, Youth and Sports Minister Tomka Netvune, Agriculture Minister Nako Natuman, Jotham Napat, Andrew Napuat, Xavier Harry, and MP Simil Johnson. They call on France to honor its commitment under the No-May Accord and engage in political dialogue, as is the custom in Melanesia and the Pacific. They stressed France cannot and must not act like this in the Pacific. The leaders from Tafea also call on Kanaki leaders, both independentists and non-independentists, to come together and discuss a common solution. Commercial fishermen in South Australia's Corrigan wetlands are blaming state and federal governments for failing to prevent the biggest fish kill they have seen in 40 years. They say a combination of high salinity and toxic sludge has led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of fish in the southern region. The fishermen are angry at a failure to capitalize on record water flows, which have breathed new life into the River Murray.
The Coorong is recognised as a wetland of international importance. Recent floods were a reprieve for the struggling ecosystem, but it's now in decline again.
It just makes me angry. We had the gift of a lifetime with the floods. The smell in the water, the slick on the water, it's everywhere. Like there's 20 kilometres worth of it.
A combination of a spike in salinity and wind stirring up monosyphidic black ooze is being blamed for the estimated loss of hundreds of thousands of fish.
And it's a perfect toxic swill for killing anything that lives in that water column.
The South Lagoon came close to ecological collapse during the millennium drought, but the arrival of fresh water flows from the recent Murray River floods delivered a glimmer of hope.
And after two years of high river flow, there should be fish jumping into people's boats. And what do we got? Fish dying left, right and centre.
But there is no sign of a quick response to avert the ecological collapse of the South Lagoon. The state government is waiting for the federal government to release $28 million for phase 2 of the Healthy Coorong Healthy Basin Action Plan.
I recognise that it's been delayed for the last year or so, and we are trying to put pressure on. So we need that next stage now before we can start talking about very large engineered solutions.
The people who live and work in this part of the world have a straightforward response to that.
Tell that department to get off their backsides and get that Healthy Coorong Healthy Basin project that they've squandered 4 years out of 5 to get up here and fix this bloody South Lagoon.
Exactly if and when that fix happens will decide whether this wetland is saved from ecological collapse.
The overwhelming majority of people around the world want an end to geopolitical differences when it comes to fighting climate change. The results of a landmark public opinion poll conducted by the UN Development Programme, People's Climate Vote 2024, the biggest ever standalone public opinion survey on climate change, also showed that 80% of the respondents support major ambitious climate action. The second edition of the survey polled communities around the world on how nations are tackling climate change that is triggering extreme weather, flooding and temperature spikes across the planet, affecting countries large and small. The results offer a country-by-country snapshot of where the world's citizens stand, including on moving towards sustainability. A majority of people in 62 of the 77 countries surveyed said they supported a quick transition away from fossil fuels to clean energy. The cost of living crunch is seeing a big surge in demand for the services of food charities from people struggling to put food on the table. You are lucky enough to reach 100. You might be thinking you have earned the right to sit back and be waited on. But tonight, we meet one Centenarian, Mary Norris, who is still on her feet, cooking up meals for a growing number of people hit hard by the cost of living crisis.
At the age of 101, Mary Norris is still a whiz in the kitchen.
Mary's been making salad rolls and sandwiches for how many years here, Mary?
13 years.
13 years, it's a long time.
It's not food she credits to her longevity, but rather preparing it for others. The Maroochydore Centenarian helps dish up hearty meals for people who may otherwise go without.
And you hear someone saying, you know what, if I had gone home to mum, that's just what I would have had for tea. So it's nice to hear them say it.
Well, I like it, it's home cooked, that's the major thing. Yeah, I don't get a home cooked meal.
Cost of living pressures have seen demand double at the weekly church cook-ups.
Numbers have grown up to 65, 75, so we have seen a big increase in the numbers.
And I think, well, if you've got children, 3 and 4 children, and you've got to pay for that, how much is it costing you every week?
Mary's been named a community champion by the Sunshine Coast Council.
She is my hero. I'm aiming for 100.
This is TV1 News. Later in sports with Rex, the Vipers host Miox at NFS, an Olympic Day with children.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
The Power Play Awards Papua New Guinea are back. Launched by ExxonMobil to recognize its valued external partners, the program celebrates the accomplishments of exceptional women and the men that support them across both the LNG and decarbonisation industries. Are you Papua New Guinea's next power player? Applications now open across 4 categories: the Rising Star, the Low Carbon Accelerator, the Ambassador and the Pioneer. Visit pnglng.com to enter today.
What is a census?
A census is the head count of every person living in the country. Every man, woman, boy, girl, and babies must be counted. It is a snapshot of the population at one point in time. It informs the government how funding is shared between wards, districts, and provinces. It helps planning transport, schools, roads, housing, and basic healthcare services. Census officials from the National Statistical Office will be visiting your homes from the 17th of June to the 30th of June. It is important that you participate and give the basic information to the census workers when they visit your homes to collect data. With the help of census data collected, the government can plan for every man, woman, and child in Papua New Guinea for evidence-based decision-making so no one is left behind. For more information, you can visit our website, nso.gov.pg. This information is authorized by the Office of the National Statistician.
Herbie Farnworth in for the Dolphins. Look out! Wow. Emerson Tamaripino. Look out. Setting sail for the corner. Lay the hammer down. Oh, it's another try in the corner. Player on this outside. It's Nick Meaney. Nick Meaney. Another try for Melbourne. And they are on fire right now.
Welcome back. The 2024 Port Moresby Men's Softball is halfway through the season with another exciting weekend of entertaining softball looming at the Bicini Diamonds on Saturday and Sunday. Saints coming off a bye would be well rested. Dimitri's Worsley side would be prepared well on taking strong Eastern Aces outfit. Stingers coming off a loss to Gazelle will have a tough task ahead when they face second-place United Brothers. Bears and Powers coming off wins last weekend, and with Power on the winning streak would look to maintain that, but the Grealies will want to spoil the party. It's an anybody's game. Defense, with much improved performances last week, may cause an upset against Moni Plus Gazelle. But if they continue their good form, Gazelle may win comfortably. Main game will see the men from Matupit slug it out as both teams will be looking for a win. Expected to be a close affair. PNG's Rugby League capital Santos National Football Stadium is set for another blockbuster doubleheader on Sunday, when current leaders and 2023 defending champions KMH Engamioks face off a desperate Moni Plus and CDC Vipers in the main event of the day at 3 p.m. In the preceding game, an equally entertaining match-up would be expected from ENB Egma Gurius and the fast improving Asila Wagi Tumbe at 1 p.m.
The highly anticipated Vipers-Mioks clash is expected to be an epic affair, with desperate Vipers outfit looking to bounce back from their two-game losing streak against Eagles and Tigers. Vipers spinal Charlie Simon, Joel Genna and Patrick Morea had their work cut out for them by Tigers last week and need to wake up from their slumber and get the troops back on track. Vipers' forward pack look ominous but lack consistency at times, which was one of their downfalls last week. Out-the-back centres Gilmore Paul and Thomas Kuiper have forged quite a lethal combination with their wingers Leon Undupia and Henry Marai. Mioks, after a dismal start to their title defence campaign, have found a piece of the puzzle with 7 impressive wins so far. The biggest of all was their 62-10 annihilation of Galfiso at home last week. However, it's going to be a completely different ball game on Sunday against 7th-placed Vipers, who are primed to give the Premiers a strong challenge with great intent of causing an upset. On 4, Mioks will start as favourites, led by captain Ronnie Sorrento at centre, assisted by dynamic fullback Joel William, while the deadly halves combination of Kumul Kaupa and Victor Ruing will be calling the shots for their mobile young forward pack Bobby Kale, Andy Tan, Yomo Yakopa and Henry Limbi. In the early encounter, 4th-place Gurias at the back of last week's 36-14 win over Qatas have 8th-place Tumbe on their radar, who have also picked up some good form of late,
and cannot be taken lightly after their narrow victory over Wigman in Means last week. Gurias pride their game on structure and process with good management and leadership in their spine. They love open-style footy. Tumbe are equally matched across the park. They might use a lot more energy and aggression to unsettle Gurias' free-flowing game style. In the other round 11 fixtures on Saturday, Kimbe Cutters host Central Tabaris in Kimbe, and Eagles and Lahanis meet in Minj. In Ley, Muruks meet Iso and Tigers play Wigman on Sunday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Rugby league fans in the country have been in dividing views on whether or not PNG should be granted license for 18th team in the NRL. PNG's favourite son Justin Olam has been one of those adamant that PNG shouldn't be given a team in the NRL in hurry. Instead, focus on pathways development first.
As the expansion talks reaches its final stages, Justin Olam feels he has been intentionally overlooked by rugby league power brokers. In fear, he has opposing view on the earlier expansion. The West Tigers Centre says he is in favour of establishing a first-grade team in PNG, but only after a couple of years investing in a proper pathway system. Olam told AAP News that no one has ever chatted to him about anything, because he thinks his opinion doesn't line up with anyone. He said that's why the NRL wants him to stay out of the conversation. Olam said that's fine with him, but what he wants is that pathway should be established first, stating his experience. Olam said he has gone through that path and knows what it is. He said people in power pushing for the team in the NRL have never lived that life. He reiterated that he is supporting the idea, but having an established pathway system first in place is the way to go. Both PNG and Australian governments have been working closely in establishing PNG's team in the NRL, with Australian government reportedly pledging $6 million Australian dollars for the expansion. The Australian Rugby League Commission will meet next Wednesday, 28 June, for the latest round of the expansion talks, with teams from Papua New Guinea, Perth and New Zealand all options to enter the NRL as early as 2026.
Pepsi Capital Rugby Union competition in Port Moresby heads into round 7 this weekend at the home of rugby, Bava Park. 4 exciting Premier Division matches are scheduled for this weekend. Tomorrow's matches will see Juggernauts versus Crusaders and Brothers up against Piggies. Match between Kemke Juggernauts and JRA Crusaders would be a great matchup, but the contest between Krama Osenko Brothers and Fincorp University Piggies will be the match to watch. Piggies and Brothers have long been at the top of the competition and will look to stake their claims for the top 4 finish as the competition heads into its final quarter. On Sunday, Harlequins plays Wanderers and Nova meets Marlins. Let's Move and Celebrate is the theme for this year's Olympic Day and is designed to inspire and encourage people to embrace the joy of the Olympic movement, which is celebrated globally on June 23rd every year. In PNG, the day was celebrated today at the Taurama Aquatic Centre. Today's events culminated from the implementation of the Olympic values programmed through the country in the month of June.
The Taurama Aquatic Centre, Port Moresby, was buzzing with scores of young, enthusiastic school children from selected primary schools in NCD, indulging themselves in various fun sport activities and emphasizing on this year's Olympic Day theme, Let's Move and Celebrate. PNG also events invited national sports federations through their Sport for Development programs under Team Up to take the lead and organize sporting activities ranging from NRL, PNG FA, netball, AFL, gym bad, cricket, basketball, karate, fencing and weightlifting. The Olympic Day celebration started with various warm-up exercises as icebreakers and energizers to get the adrenaline level pumping before the teams proceeded to their various stations to get the game started. The official program saw brief remarks by PNG Olympic Committee General Secretary Desmond Kiviagu, Olympic Committee member Alvita Rapila, former Olympian and Team PNG Chef de Mission Ryan Pinney, with special guest French Ambassador to PNG Guillaume Lemon. Former PNG OC General Secretary and current Olympic member Alvita Rapila expressed great joy and excitement for the great turnout to celebrate the Olympic values in sport, especially the three main Olympic movement values in excellence, friendship and respect.
Very important, I should also mention that the theme for today's Olympic Day is let's move and celebrate. Oh, these kids are really having fun. So the theme is let's move and celebrate, and so it's really good to see all the children out here. These children love sports, they love to be involved in activities, and it's encouraging even adults. You know, we have to stay fit, look after ourselves for our mental health, our physical health. And so the International Olympic Committee, together with the World Health Organization, they initiated the theme Let's Move, and today it's combined with Let's Move and Celebrate, and we are celebrating the Olympic values as well, so the Olympic values of respect, excellence and friendship. And it's very, very important that through sports we get to teach and we instill these values, especially in our young ones, so they become better people and we contribute to a better world and a peaceful world.
Former PNG Olympian and now Team PNG Chef de Mission for the Paris Olympics, Ryan Pinney, was equally excited to come out and relive that Olympic movement experience, especially coming out and seeing the young kids have a lot of fun playing sport. Ryan said as Olympians and athletes, they do not get to see experiences on the other side, but coming out inspires and motivates them to continue what they're doing. He said it also gives them the passion to see how everyone is involved and enjoy what the power of sport is.
As an Olympian and an athlete, you never get to see or experience this side of things. You're always head down, particularly this close into the Olympics. Your focus is on the Olympics. But coming here, it inspires you and motivates you to continue what you're doing and be involved in the sport, and to see the passion and how much everyone gets involved and how much everyone enjoys the power of what sports is, and also being able to share what the Olympic values are, and everyone is doing it perfectly here today, which is excellence, friendship and respect, and I love being able to see this.
The day ended with presentations and team photo sessions. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that wraps up the sports segment. Marisila.
Thank you, Rex. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern, but mostly partly cloudy with chances of few showers. Omase, Ley, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Medan, mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau and Kimbe, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. And Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Coral Sea, seas rather rough with southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to patches rough with southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Waters of Samari Island to Cape Bogle and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters along warning areas. And waters of Finchafan through Bithia Strait to CSC Long Island to Karkar Island, seas 1.5 to 2 meters rising to 3 to 4 meters at times. And that ends the news tonight. Tomorrow's bulletin will be at 9:30 due to the live broadcast of the NRL games. Thanks for watching. Have a safe weekend. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.